Hey there and welcome. I want to share with you because I'm very excited. I have just took an opportunity to help a consult, or actually for me to consult and help a hospital work with their systems and optimize their workflows. So I just want to share with you a little bit of background with that and what I do from my consulting, my business consulting world, and apply some of the top three things I do when I go in for optimization and how we can apply that into network marketing. So are you ready? I am ready. I'm so excited. So the one thing I do when I go on these consulting gigs is it may be 4 weeks, it may be 8 weeks. It just depends. This one I'm just getting ready to take is a 4 week project, meaning I will go on site to that facility. I've got to learn to blend where people are just working. They don't know who I am or why I'm there, but I'm observing. I want to look at workflow. I want to look at what's happening from the front desk all the way to when the nurse takes the patient, to the doctor sees the patient, to the charge entry, till the bill gets sent and the claim gets sent out the door and it gets returned back and paid. So with that, as a lot of details, I'll take a week and I'll follow those workflows one thing at a time. Again, blending where people don't know who I am or what I'm doing, and I don't want anybody to feel like I'm there to get their jobs going, right? Because it's not a downsizing thing. It's an optimization thing where we take the employees, the staff at hand, and see how can we structure or restructure what's working, what's not, what improvements need to occur, and optimize the system as far as the data entry, the computer, that stuff, plus the human workflow as well. So that's a lot to spit out. But I work with CFOs, directors, and executives. I go in and we talk about optimization. We look at workflows. And anyway, that's a consulting thing. So the top three things I usually leave a hospital with optimization charts and the project at hand, and what I leave are the top three things. Or one is communication. So not only between the staff and patients, but more importantly, intercommunication. So we talk about how can we have a better working employee in an environment that they want to come to work, that they want to do more for the company. They really want the company to succeed. They want that front desk to succeed. The nurses want to see the patient succeed, and they want to do everything they can to deliver that customer service. So the one thing I leave there with is communication. There's a decline in communication between upper leadership down. It usually starts with leadership. And so what I relate to when I speak with leadership in hospitals is, if you want a hardworking employee, they have to feel appreciated. They have to feel valued, or they're going to go somewhere else where they do feel appreciated and valued. Okay. Now let me talk to you about how important that is in network marketing. So in the job world, people show up for a paycheck. Most of the time, they're not even happy at what they do. You really could care less. They're not jumping for joy to go to the job every day. But if it's a good workspace and a good working environment, they can have a little bit of a positive mentality about it. But most people, if I did a survey through the hospital and I asked, do you love your job? Do you love coming to work? More than 80% would say, no way. In fact, they would say there's no way they would come if they didn't get a paycheck, because I actually asked those questions. Would you come here and work if you weren't paid to? Most of the time, they would not. And the reason is that people feel devalued. Okay, so on that note, people in the hospitals, they are paid to come, right? So they have a paycheck attached to time. So they show up and go to work, or they don't get a paycheck. When we're building network marketing and direct sales, we are working with a volunteer army. Those people are not showing up because there is no paycheck attached. There is when you work, then you get paid, right? But there's a lot of work before the paycheck. Just because you show up at network marketing don't mean you're guaranteed a paycheck, because You are, but the mentality of that is people think it's a clock in, I get an hourly pay. That's what we're programmed for. Okay. So with all that said, the number one reason that people leave your organization, the attrition happens, is because of lack of customer service. You can have the best product on earth. If you are not taking care of your customers, touching them and saying thank you, sending cards, thank you notes, just a text, letting them know how grateful you are for their business, they're going to go somewhere else, I guarantee it. And I am living proof of that I believe I deliver impeccable customer service. But I have lost clients because I get distracted and I forget. And they're not on a follow-up. Like it happens to all of us, right? Life gets in the way. We forget to call. It should be a number one priority in our business. It's so much of a priority for me now because I have seen and tracked and measured the decline of my own business from not taking care of my customers. And I mean on a monthly basis. Every 30 days, we should be calling our customers and saying, how are you? Just asking, how are you? And telling them how grateful you are that they bought from you. How many people on earth? And they chose you or me, right? So we need to be super thankful and let them know that. So that's the number one thing that I teach in optimization in hospitals. You want a harder working staff? You want them to work harder? Show them you care about them. And it's not with money, okay? It's the gift of value. It's the gift of appreciation. It's the spirit of recognition, okay? So that's the number one thing I train on, or I leave there with, right? With the recommendation that I leave. Okay, so some ways that we can, make sure we're taking care of our clients is the touch base. You want to touch base. You want to deliver that customer service. Business calls. If you're a coach or trainer that you're doing client calls, you're connecting with your clients. They could go anywhere and pick a coach. If you are a coach, you should be mega grateful that you have 1, 5, 10, 50 clients, people following you, okay? If you're in direct sales and you offer a product, network marketing, you offer a product, you should be doing product calls. Those calls in my mind mean I'm calling to ask, how's the product going? What kind of testimony do you have? Let's make sure you're using your product right. Do you need to reorder? Okay. Welcome calls. This is something we need to be doing in our businesses. Welcoming them as a customer, welcoming them as a new team member if they want to build a business with you. Again, people move on the spirit of recognition, the spirit of being valued and appreciated. Okay, y'all see I get fired up about this. Okay, so the next thing I do as an optimization recommendation is time management. Okay, that is like a whole training, which by the way, in the comments of this video, I will post a free training that's going to occur. And if it's after the date of the training, you can subscribe in my training portal and get it for free. Okay, so we'll get those links to you. But we will be training, Penny and I will be training, she's another coach, on organization, time management, and decluttering your workspace. But here's a big thing in the hospitals is time management. It's huge. I mean, it's everywhere. So how can we be more precise, effective in a shorter amount of time? That's optimization. That's that definition. So what we've got to do is look around at some of the busy work that people are doing. So when I'm in the hospital, I'm processing and going through what people are doing day to day, end user stuff. We're looking at what they're doing on the computer. We get an actual program and we want to put them through the workflows they need to be doing. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but the time management piece is huge. People feel like, staff feels like they don't have enough time to complete tasks. But what are they even doing? Sometimes it's just busy work that they could, that could be delegated somewhere else. It could be more computerized. All kind of things could occur if management took into consideration things that are taking a lot of time or not, and really looking at everybody's job description and saying, what are you doing day to day? What's taking up a lot of space? What can we automate? What can we take away from that person? Maybe we need to hire in, maybe we need to take things away. But it's crucial when you talk about morale. And again, people working hard. You want a hard-working employee. Again, it goes back to value, but that they are being heard. They're being heard, okay? So same thing in our businesses when we talk about time management. Well, what are we doing to optimize our business, right? Are we spending time doing the profit-producing activities? So you're watching me on this training now. This does not count. Training is recommended. It is required. Training is required for you to go to the next level in anything. I don't care if you started lifting weights, you started trying to lose weight, you wanted a more spiritual, you want a spiritual mindset uplift. If you were trying to start running marathons, if you do anything you don't know how to do, you have to be trained properly. If you were going to go drive a car and you never have, you're going to be trained. Same thing in a business. If you decide to be a coach, if you decide to be a trainer, you decide to be a real estate agent, if you decide to be a network marketer, you have to invest in skill. So that's just another thing that I was going to talk about. But anyway, so with that, with time management are you working with the right people? So I just looked at my notes here. Who are you working with? Are you trying to push people who don't want to go? They don't want to do it with you. If you're a coach, are you working with the wrong people, uncoachable people, giving out a bunch of free stuff? And we do need to do freebies to, get to know people, etc. But are you giving free stuff to the same people? After a while, that gets old. You need to move on. You're disservicing your paid clients by doing that. So you're working with the wrong people. In network marketing, your profit-producing activity is recruiting. If you're not recruiting, you're not doing the profit-producing activities. Are you interviewing people or are you desperate? That's huge. Because most of us in network marketing, we don't care who you are, just sign up. Like, we're super desperate. When we should be really interviewing people and seeing, are you the fit? Are you coachable? Can you follow directions? Are you willing to learn a skill to go do this big? And again, are you following directions? Are you coachable? Okay. And then talking about time, when people tell me they have no time, I'm always like, how much time do you have spent watching TV? So there's things I say at the hospital when I'm doing consulting. You don't have time. How much time do you spend at the water cooler talking? Because I've watched you take, 20 breaks that you shouldn't be taking. So it's the same thing. If you're not doing the profit producing activity and you're saying you have no time, you haven't even assessed. You should look back at your own business and optimize it the way that I do. You need to look back and give yourself a time assessment daily of what you're doing, because you can give someone all the excuses in the world. If you're not carving out 2, 3, 4 hours a day to recruit people, chances are your business is not going to grow. So with that, I just want to do some comparison and I'll recap. Showing up is 80%. Okay. Showing up is 80%. The other 20 is doing the profit producing activity. So show up, make a decision to do so, get committed, and do the profit producing activity. Have an actionable program, which is what I teach in optimization in the hospital. What is the actionable program? From start, when the patient walks in the door, registers, you get their insurance card, you key in their information, you scan in what you need to scan so it's in the computer, you check them in, they move to the nurse, they move to the doctor, charge entry occurs. All of that is money. It is money that hospitals lose from mistakes, timely filing, things like that. There's so many layers, and it all starts when the patient first walks in. And then we talk about customer service. The first people the patients see are the front desk staff, the greeters, the people at the front. They must go through customer service skills on a monthly or 90-day basis. That it is a paid for training, meaning the hospital will hire consultants in to deliver customer service, which, by the way, I used to do at a corporate level. Okay, and I'm asked to come do that often. So I know better. And what I'm saying is, even in my own business, I know better, and I have messed up. So I know people are messing up because it's just an ingredient. We let distractions get in the way. We think we don't want to bother people. I don't want to bother them. Man, bother them. Here's my motto. If you don't bother your customers, they will find somebody else to do business with. It's very important that we are touching base with our customers and helping them see how grateful we are for them. The other thing is that we're carving out time. We're doing time assessments in our business to figure out what are we doing right, what's going wrong, testing and measuring, using the cycle sheets. If you don't know what those are, you need to get with me so that I can send you that PDF and you can start using those now. The other thing is planning out time, not only in your business, but with family. I believe in work hard and play hard. You need to carve out time with your family and take a day off. So with that, I hope you find value in this training. And if so, give me some hearts, likes, and make some comments, especially if you're on YouTube. Just comment, yes, I've seen value in this. If you're in the training platform and you see the video, be sure and leave a comment. If you're on Facebook, leave a comment. And so with that, be blessed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next training.